Joined with me today is Valley Fly and Philosopher, and we're actually having too much fun talking about other stuff. But I think we want to talk about something that was very.
Get some work done.
Yeah, we're getting some work done. We're I can't even tell you what we're doing. I want to give videos. Okay, so I want to start the video off with this. I want to give. We just got done recording a video with Valley Flying, and I want to give everybody here some insight to while we were recording that video. I was actually playing Marvel Future Revolution while we were recording the video. And Philosopher, what were you doing while we were recording that last video?
I was working on my mods for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes.
Okay, so I just want to give everybody some context. Valley was like doing all this stuff and making a video, coming up with great questions, and I'm playing Marvel Future Revolution, and Philosopher was playing. So,
your answers were very good, though.
Yeah, I feel like we had some engaging answers, given that we were playing other games simultaneously while we're doing these interviews. But anyways, Philosopher, so you did a video with, let's get to what we're going to talk about. Are we engaged? The developer, you asked them at the beginning of the interviews, you usually give them softball questions. And actually, I think that was the big miss of the interview is you asked them was like, what do you want for the future of the game? What did he say? And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, look, in the beginning, I think I've done a lot of interviews in my life of different kinds as a lawyer and so forth. And you always want to start with some softballs. So I said, what is your vision for the game? We read this blog post. What is the vision for the game that you're trying to show us? And his answer, as you said, was something about engagement or user engagement or whatever. Some sort of speak from developers that I don't understand. What it told me was that they did not have kind of like a coherent story for like here from a gameplay perspective is where we want to take things.
Right.
And that happens a lot of times in games where they're like, okay, now in the new level of World of Warcraft and our new expansion, we're trying to create a storyline around this. We're trying to shape the player experience in this way. I figured there'd be some story that he was
like a mission statement or something, right? Like a corporate mission statement that's forced down every employee's throat. It comes from the top. And of what they're trying to accomplish, like a mission statement at a company almost. What do you think, Valley?
Yeah, so they're focused on engagement. I think that the reason they're doing that is how do you measure fun? How do you quantify fun? How do you put that into numbers? And there's no real way to measure fun. So I think the next easiest way for them to do is to look at that is that if they're logged in, they're having fun. But as you mentioned in my video, you could be logged in looking at a loading screen. And that's giving them their metrics that they want. That's not necessarily fun, but I think it's just the easier way. And I think what they need to do, and we mentioned this, is look at the context of what that game time means. Are they looking at loading time? Are they putting this stuff on auto a lot for RTA? Or are they actually playing and having fun? And I think there's some misses here that the devs have.
Okay, so let's do this. Let's talk about the individual game modes, and we're going to start with Arena. And so let's just define fun, like that's your opinion. Do you have fun? Do you enjoy playing it? And then engagement is, do you play it because you're compelled to play it or because of the rewards or it's just something to do, right? So, and then what would change or what would have to change in Arena to make it fun and then organically engaging? What do you think about that, Philosopher?
Yeah, I don't find Arena really fun at all. I mean, the fun of Arena is you try to keep up, you get to know these other people in your shard, you try to keep up with their teams, and it's like, okay, this guy came up with this team, so you develop another team. But, the teams have been pretty cookie cutter for a long time, right? You get Black Order, now we all have Infinity Watch or whatever. There was a period of hybrids. But then it all comes down to my team could be better than everyone's, but if I'm not online and doing an attack within 2 seconds, 1 second of the payout, I lose. And if I happen to click and I get the win 5 seconds before payout and another person beats me 2 seconds before, I lose that spot. So I tumble down, and there's no real skill involved there. It's all like, am I able to be online at a certain time? I don't find it fun at all.
Where are you at with the Arena? You and I are in the same Arena shard, Valley. Are you having fun? What's your take on that? How could it be more fun? What could make it more engaging?
Mode overall, there's been times throughout the life of this game that I've had fun with it. Currently, not so much. It's Infinity Watch versus Infinity Watch, pretty much all 5 of the arena battles, and it's a cookie cutter type of team, and I think that's where for me, and we could talk about the slingshotting, the cheating mechanics, and everything. For me, it's been the boring matches. Those haven't been fun.
Yeah.
So I would want less cookie cutter teams. I think that would make it less, and then obviously the things that you were describing, some of the more the interface with the users and how that's done with not making a slingshot and cheat as much. I think those things will make Arena more fun. Just variety of teams and fixing some of the other issues that's been there for a while.
And I'll give a very simple answer to this question. I lost complete interest to this game mode when they said that slingshotting was something that they were aware of and they weren't going to fix, and that it's just the way the game is designed. And I was like, okay, I don't care about this game mode anymore. There's no reason to be competitive. If you're going to win a match, and when the match is over, you're going to be much, much lower. You're going to drop positions by playing and attacking and winning. By winning a match, you're going to be, I'm in 4th place and I'm attacking number 1 and I end the match at 9. I'm not playing this garbage game mode if that's intentional. It's just that simple. And the times that I've had fun in Arena have exclusively been what I refer to, or Reminex refers to, as legendary soup, where everybody's got a different team, everybody's got a different defense. I look at that team, it's like, I know how to beat that team. Okay, I can't use the team I've been using every day. I've got to switch things up. And that was that brief period between Infinity Watch and Black Order. How long was that? For like a month? How long did we have legendary soup this time around? Maybe a month?
It was pretty fun. I gotta say, that was a fun time.
That was
for me
fun.
As well.
Now it's pure garbage. Pure garbage. Infinity Watch. I've got 850K teams, 30 deep. And nobody loses. There's no thinking. I mean, once you've discovered how to beat a mirror match, how much thinking do you have for the next 6 months? It's garbage. It's same thing with Black Order. All right. Anybody else have any other thoughts about this before we move on?
No, that's what's sad about this game mode. There's nothing more to say about it.
Okay, there's nothing more to say about it. And there are some game modes that there's some good things to say about it. But anyways, okay, it's already been. What's this? Let's just quickly talk about Blitz. Blitz has already been established to be a no thinking game mode, right? Anybody? Are you getting anything out of Blitz? Are you playing Blitz? I mean, we're having Maria Hill's coming on Thursday, or tonight rather. Are either of you going to be trying to get in the top 100 for Maria Hill?
So I was okay. You are. I was so I was literally 4th in the first Maria Hill Blitz. I overshot it.
Okay.
And I hated the fact that I was setting alarms every 2 hours, and instead of talking to my fiance or spending time with my real life, I'm doing that. So I actually spent money on an offer, even though if I wanted to do top 1% again, I wouldn't have needed an offer. I spent an extra $20 to have that time in my life back.
Yep.
So I did not have to check. So now I won't. Now I could just cruise to 6% or something, or 10% or whatever I need.
See, I actually spent $20 also to not care about the last Blitz. Anyways, same thing. Anyways, what do you got, Valley?
I mean, this is the perfect example between fun and engagement. Am I going hard on this Blitz? Am I doing this? Yes. There's a lot of engagement time. Am I having fun doing it? No, it's boring. It's clicking these buttons. It's not fun. I want the rewards for what potentially Maria Hill may be needed for down the road, but it's not fun. But it's a lot of engagement. Just pulling a lot of metrics for me.
Right. All right. And then, okay, let's move on to the next game mode, which we're going to save the best for last. All right. We're going to save the best for last. So RTA. Okay.
Do we need to talk about this?
No. Okay. First of all, I want to. There's some upsides to RTA. I've had fun in RTA, right? But
there have been
moments. All right, we'll talk.
Moments,
go ahead. Give because this video can't all be negative. Tell me when you've had fun in RTA, Valley Flying.
There were some times when before Infinity Watch was all over the place, but there was some times when you would get these weird random matchups and you were trying to win and the other person was trying to win and you see them actually doing their moves like, oh, this is fun. Once in a while that happened and those are fun matchups. Other than that, it's just pretty much auto for me.
Okay.
So
what about you, Philosopher? I mean, because there has to be times where it's been engaging to you.
Yeah, I gotta say a couple things. I'll give you. This will be my only props for RTA because it's hard to say a lot of positives.
Yeah,
about
it is.
But
really hard.
But one thing I will say, as somebody who has played another game that doesn't have it, a similar type game that doesn't have it, is it's nice to be able to try out any team that you want or more close to it with the bands whenever you want and play your team. In other words, it's really great when I'm testing out new teams, new concept, test out a new character. It's nice to just be able to like log in whenever you want and play your team. So I love that piece of it. And then there are occasionally times, there are times when I face another streamer and that can be fun, or, you have a wacky battle and you try something new, but it's so rare because they ask you to do too much of it. First of all, so you end up, it's just become something I do when I watch TV in the background pressing auto. And then also I think the fun part of versus PvP for me was the draft, and I loved the tournaments and the draft and all that. I just too much this is so different.
Yeah, and I'm on the same place, and I really have not lobbied for them to bring that back, because you realize there was a large percentage of the community that hated the draft mode. And what I was not able to understand is whether it was the length of the drafting process, was it the game mode itself, what was it? I think everybody agreed that the drafting system was clunky, but my question is, if they streamlined that, would the community still hate it? And I have to say yes, because I can see that. I don't know the answer to that question, but it feels like the answer would still be yes.
Well, let me just say, there was a third of the community that loved it.
Yeah,
there's a third of the community that hated it. There's a third that was indifferent. Instead of leaning into the third that loved real-time RTA or real-time PvP, and then trying to convert the people that were indifferent, they just took out all of the stuff and made a mode that everybody hates. So there was something that's needed.
Do you think they should revisit and try to salvage it, Philosopher?
I do. I think that this game mode would be way better if I had 3 matches a week with a draft, and I was matched up against people at my level, and you could choose to do something else or do casual mode if you didn't want to. But if they had some sort of ladder thing and they gave me 2-3 matches a week that I actually had to pay attention to, and you saw, maybe you selected your time where you wanted the match to be, so you would be matched up with somebody who was at the same time, I think that could be a lot of fun. And I remember when they were testing this stuff out, remember when they did they put in the game some challenges thing where you had to do a certain number of RTA matches before they brought RTA, where they were just testing out versus PvP and you were doing draft. And that was fun for me, and maybe not for everyone, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think there's a way of doing that. I think the bands could have been pre-selected. You didn't have to do the bands up front. Maybe something to streamline the the drafting process, or I don't know. I think there was a way of doing it. And then lastly, my favorite part of the game is Alliance Wars. So let's talk about why that's. You can tell me if you like it or not, I guess, or why is that? Why does that work versus the other game modes that don't work, or if you even like that game mode? Some people don't. Where are you at with that? Whoever wants to speak,
right,
go for it.
I'll go first.
You should go first. I'm a casual player.
Here's what I would say about it. War, I think, is absolutely, first of all, it's very, very, very interesting if you are somebody who's whether a leader or captain who's leading a war effort, because for me, it's like a massive sort of, they're talking about the grand tournament. I have a massive grand arena where I decide for an alliance, what are we keeping on defense for this war? What are we putting on offense? What teams are we using against this? It's fascinating at that level. It's also going to be really fun as a player when you are trying to see, can I get this punch up to work? Can I select the right counter? It could be a really, can I pull this off in security? And when you take down this key team that helps your alliance get past a certain room or complete a room, it can be an exciting experience. And I think the downside for me, and I've expressed this very vocally to the devs, is just the time requirement, not just the amount of time, but the fact that you have to be online at certain times. As you get more competitive, I understand a lot of casual players I just log in and do my attacks whenever. But, even at any real level at a certain point, once you get to the top 100 or whatever level it may be, you have to be, let's say, online early on in the war to get your attacks before your armory's down and your hangars down. And then you might be, if you're clearing the other side, you may need to wake up for that or be there for that. And I just think that's too much of an imposition on our lives. And it doesn't have to be that way.
All right, where are you at with this, Valley?
Actually, while you're talking, I think I have a lot to say about this because I was playing it competitively for a while, and the things I like about I think is the exact same things that you like. You know, the finding the right matchups, theory crafting, which team's going to beat which team, and I kind of like that. This is the game mode that it matters. There's no do-overs. If you lose a battle in raid, you could force close that thing, and you're like, all right, let me try this again. There's none of that in war because even if you get the team back, you're going to lose an attack, and those attacks are very valuable. So there's things I like about war. The things I don't like is pretty much what you like and dislike. And I think the majority of the community dislikes it is being forced to log in at the same time that everybody, you know, whether that is a convenient time for you or not, playing that competitively is some days it's just not going to work and it's not fun. And then having to be on and make sure that your attacks are good. I've switched to a casual alliance over the past couple months, and it's a very different experience. I'm logging in, doing my attacks when I want. I'm looking for the right counters. If I have something in real life that's going on, I'm not stressed as much about it. So I think for me, war has gotten a lot more fun going casual, but it was harder for me trying to match up real life and everything with doing that. So it's a mixed bag for myself.
Okay, and I guess we'll wrap up the video by talking about raids. And before we talk about raids, I just want to say that PvE content typically in games is problematic for the developers because they invest a lot of time in building something that eventually is completed or finished, and then what? They have to build something else. And so, like, I know a lot of people ask for like a raid boss or a world boss or something like that, and that might be fun until you autoplay it, and then it's dead. And then they have to rebuild it and they have to restart. So where are you at right now, Valley, with raids? What's your feeling with raids? Are you having fun playing raids?
I think I've pretty much got it figured out. And my alliance is in more casual alliance. We're not pushing as hard. So I'm not really pushing as much. So that's down. But I do like raids when they first come out. I like when we're pushing. I liked Doom when it first came out, trying to figure out that stuff. I like challenge. Right. So I generally like the raids, but it's exactly what you say. As after a while, they get easier. They get to that auto level. So it's almost at that point in Doom as well. But the Greeks are pretty much auto as well. So they need something. So I'm looking forward to potentially competing in Doom too.
All right, where are you at with that, Philosopher?
Yeah, I have a similar view. I mean, one of my favorite experiences in this game was when First Strike first came out for Doom. To clear a lane in Doom First Strike, I wanted to do that like the first week or the first day or whatever it was. I mean, right away I was doing that. It took a lot of cores and a lot of testing and trying different character combinations. That was a lot of fun to figure out these notes, to figure out how they worked. That was before I was even putting out content or doing that. I just had a blast with that. And so that to me is a lot of fun. I'm at the stage now where Doom difficulty 1 is not really that challenging for me. Occasionally I get bad RNG or whatever, but you know, I'm ready for the next challenge, I guess. But I do like raids when they come out, but I have the problem that you said. It becomes unfun once you figured it out.
So I got a question for you, Philosopher. So the difference between when you did Doom First Strike is that you could pull your entire roster of skill to figure out how to beat the skill lane. How are you going to do that on Doom 2 when you have to have ISO 3?
Well, because I am in the envious situation of having much of my roster ISO 3 blue. And that's a thing.
Okay.
You know, it's
okay, fine. Fair enough. I wasn't expecting that answer.
Say that, well, that's the thing. When people say that, you know, people are like, you know, why are you? I had people ask me like, well, why are you so salty about the blog or the roadmap? It ain't for me, man. I mean, for me, I'm fine. Like if you want to gate it all behind Doom 2, that works for my alliance. But I just know that other than the 24 of us and the few other alliances, doesn't work, right? And I'm in a fortunate situation, but what ends up
well then
happening
I'm going to be leaning on you and your friends over there to tell us what characters, so I don't have to spin the wrong characters to ISO 3, and we're making the assumption that it's going to be ISO 3. That has not been said, but it feels like it is going to be ISO 3 because I can tell you this. He said two things on different situations the reason why I feel it's going to be ISO 3. Blue 3, just specifically for Doom 2. One, he said that the Doom raids are not ISO 4 and 5 is not coming anytime soon. He said that, right?
Right. He did. That
He
was
said,
good news, actually.
so it seems to me that the timetable for Doom 2 didn't line up with ISO 4 and 5. And maybe that's a stretch. Do you think that's a stretch? I don't know if that's a stretch, but that's the feeling I got from his comments.
Yeah, if anything, I actually thought what it meant was ISO 4 and 5 are not coming out till after Doom 2. In other words,
that's what I got.
The reward from Doom 2 is going to be the teal gear or whatever.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be Doom 3 maybe or something else that's going to give us ISO 4. And that makes sense to me because at the end of the ISO Blue playtest, they gave out info that they said we could share. And I did share it at the time, but I don't think a lot of people paid attention to, where they said they have no development yet on ISO Purple. Right. They haven't even started considering it, which tells you that's a long way off for them. So they have to stretch out Blue.
And then I want to say that it's not going to be Blue 1 because it's not going to be Blue 1 because I asked him that. Is it going to be Blue 1? He said, no, we left it open-ended because we're not releasing that information or we haven't come to determination. So it kind of left it into a space where it's going to be Blue 2 or Blue 3, 6 one way, half a dozen another, and that's fine. Okay. Anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
I want to just say this, by the way. One of the fun things, Dark Dimension.
Yeah.
When that does come out, that is fun, and I am looking forward to that, man. Yeah,
Dark Dimension 5 is a whole game mode. It's just, again, it's PvE. Once it's beat, it's done. It's done. And I don't think I want to replay Dark Dimension 2. I don't want to be compelled to replay Dark Dimension 2 for some, like, one gold orb, and play that on auto. Yeah, people say that all the time. It's like, do you realize that's going to be on all auto for most people? I don't even know how you could repurpose that stuff. What do you think, Valley?
That's a weird situation. They design all that content and people never go back to it. So in a weird place with that. I'm also looking forward to chasing some things, chasing this new blue stuff. The way you get it is kind of hard, and chasing Dark Dimension 5, but I don't know how long that's going to be. One of the biggest things for me that was fun was the chase of Dark Dimension 4. When that went away, there wasn't much to do, so I'm looking forward to chasing something again.
All right. So there we are. So I think we've fully talked about the difference between fun and engagement and all the different game modes and given our thoughts. And I kind of hope this video makes it back to developers. I really do for some way, because I think it's kind of this idea that engagement is the end all metric, and literally looking at the loading screen between your battle loading is something that they're adding up and giving themselves a pat on the shoulder for engagement drives me insane. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just bonkers.
Yes.
It's bonkers that they're looking at this engagement number and literally the loading screen is helping their metrics. I just think that's trash. I really do.
I hope you send this to them. I think they should watch 3 content creators for their game saying that most of the game modes are boring. I mean, that really says something. In my opinion.
You think you want to say, Valley?
Yeah, I guess I wish I was playing Future Rev in the background of this video.
Let's see it. What do we got right here? Oh, there she is. Oh my God, there she is. There's Storm.
Future Rev engagement that you're giving them. This is super a lot of engagement for this whole video.
All right, head over to Valley's and Philosopher's channel where we're gonna have different videos over there. All right, guys, thanks for watching and keep on gaming. Oh my God.
Wow.
I don't know. This video got derailed somewhere, but it's okay.
I love it.
I know. It turned out
hilarious,
okay.
Man. Yeah. It was hilarious. Will you do me a favor?